old guy in Colorado. Doodah. Hi everybody, old guy is here, and Mrs. Old Guy gets the homages. I'm going to make turkey stuffing today. Come on in, Mrs. Old Guy. I'll talk about it while I'm going. I've got just a half a pound of ground pork. This is just a small batch to show you guys how I do it. So just a half a pound of pork, and I'm going to add about a cup and a half of water. Get the heat cranked up on that. All I'm going to do initially is just kind of break this up. I want to get it broke into as fine of particles as I possibly can. Now, this stuffing or dressing recipe has been in my family for pretty close to 100 years. And it is very simple, very easy to make, and it is also super simple on ingredients. You're going to get the ground pork, salt, black pepper, some sage, and your breadcrumbs. That's it. Water and your ground pork. So as you can see, I'm just going to bust this up as best I can. I want this to be ground pork in the true sense of the word. This goes pretty quick. Still got a couple of chunks left in there. Try to smash them out. As soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to start seasoning. Now you might think initially that it's a lot, but by the time you've add in the bread and you're seasoning the pork too, it's really not that much. All right, so when you're making this to do a big bird, if you're going to do a big bird, you'd need 3 pounds of ground pork and probably close to 5 cups of water. Looks about right. See how soupy that is? That's what you're looking for. Alright, so black pepper. I'm going to be pretty generous with it. That's probably at least 2 teaspoons. And I will sample this. And we're going to go a couple teaspoons of salt. And now the most important ingredient, sage. I'm going to use a fair amount of sage here, if I can get it out of the can. This thing about rubbed as opposed to ground, it's a little more difficult to get out of the can. Come on. And I'm not really, as you can see, I'm not particularly measuring anything. I go mostly by sight and of course by taste. If you like it a little less sagey, don't put so much in. If you like a little more pepper, put more in. You'd have to try it once and then go from there. Alright. Let this come up to a boil and finish cooking off that ground pork. Now, it looks super simple, and it is, but the flavor that you'll get from this stuffing cooked inside a bird is really, really good. It's also good just by itself too. And what's the difference between stuffing and dressing? Stuffing is in the bird and dressing is on the outside of the bird. So if a place that has a big family, you might see a side of, a side pan with your stuffing. That's actually not stuffing, that's dressing. It's same stuff, just different name. Alright, now the bread. This is one of the more difficult parts just guessing how much bread it's going to take. There's no real set amount. A lot of it's going to depend on your environment, how dry of a climate you're in, how moist you like your stuffing. There's a lot of little things. No, it don't look like much. Kind of a gray matter there. some gruel. But believe me, cooked up inside a turkey, this stuff is great. Like I said, it just depends on how dry you like your stuffing, how moist you like it. That'll kind of depend on how much breadcrumb you put in. I always kind of add it a little bit, give it a second, add a little more, give it a second, let that bread have a chance to soak up the moisture. That looks about right. Got a fairly stiff texture to it. That'll stuff a bird and be so good. Oh, heck yeah. Anyway, that's one of the things that I like to have with my Thanksgiving is the pork sage dressing. All right, we'll see everybody. Thanks for watching.